Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings. Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast titled Chris Pratt. It is Nintendo Direct season. I'm very, very excited because this is our first Nintendo Shack episode where we have a Nintendo Direct to talk about with our new crew. How are you doing, Garret and Elaine?
It's been a long week, but I'm ready to talk some Direct news.
Super long week. And honestly, when the Direct was announced, this was like kind of the motivation to keep me going throughout the week. Because I think we've all been super busy. I know for me, I've been working late almost every single day this week, like 12, 13-hour days.
Goodness.
Yeah. Jumping into the PSVG podcast the other night, like just staying up late, doing so much work. But we had our Nintendo Direct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you guys been playing a whole lot of games before we get into the good stuff? Have you been playing a lot of games with how busy we've been?
I continue to just trudge through Ghost of Tsushima, which I've talked about on the PSVG cast multiple weeks. I can't stop. I can pet the foxes. I want to pet the foxes. That's the place that I'm in right now. I just want to pet animals and be happy and shoot things with a bow and arrow. That's where I'm at. So it's been a week.
Ghost of Tsushima is perfect for you then.
It's excellent. Do you like shooting things from afar and petting foxes? Have I got the game for you? It's great.
As long as you're not shooting the foxes.
I would never, you monster. I love
don't do that.
I feel bad taking out like deer in video games. I'm like, I need your resources, but no, you're so cute. No.
You should be able to do that in any game. What about you, Garret?
So I mean, I'm almost done with Life is Strange. True Colors. I'm in the middle of episode 5, which is pretty intense. I heard your impressions with you and Donnie. I'll see what my impressions are by the end of it, because I don't want to give like anything away before the ending of it.
We're going to have to do like a big spoiler cast on it.
We do.
Chat about it.
I want to do that. That'd be good.
We really do. But I'm more in line with Donnie's thoughts. It's not my favorite. I don't think it is, which is okay. It's still really good. It's a very good Life is Strange game, and I'm very much enjoying it. It's just I prefer other Life is Strange games. So, but that's okay. Other than that, I've been playing more Psychonauts 2 more every morning. Still freaking great. I wish it was on Switch. But the next game I've been playing on Switch for a little bit. Eastward. And
I've heard so many good things about that.
Yes.
It's very, very nice. It is by a small developer named Pixpill from Shanghai and developed by Chucklefish. This is their first game, and I'm very surprised it is their first game. It is a 2D, kind of a Stardew Valley, probably more graphic, like pixelated than that, more animated, more lively. It's a 2D action adventure game, and it's narrative-driven, chapter-based game where you're this main character, John or Sam, and you're just living in an underground town or whatever. Just try. Like my first task was to like clean up a mine where you work, actually, and it's a very simple, just a hack and slash type of thing, very similar to like 2D Zelda. But what really captured me with this game is the art of this game is just breathtaking.
It looks so beautiful.
Yes, it captures that. It reminds me of like Miyazaki films, where it's like very grim, musty, dark. It has that overtones in the mines, and it's really cool. And this town is like in a poor underground state. It's very depressing, but also like charming. It's very happy. Sam is a very cool personality, very bubbly about everything. John, you're basically the most it is a speechless main character. that's pretty much it. But you look cool while doing it and have muscle, so I think that's awesome. The characters are full of personality, like every single one of them. Great writing so far. And very cool art. Yes. So yeah, I'm very excited to play more of it. I've only played the prologue. I'm into chapter 1 right now, but it is really like captured like my eyes and my heart and everything right now, because I'm just like, I'm thinking about that game constantly just because
How
of the
much
art
have you
style.
played so far? Would you say?
Not even, maybe an hour.
Oh,
Okay, so you're still at the very beginning.
I'm at the very beginning. Yeah. I have not played much more than the prologue, but
Okay.
just playing that prologue, and it's not like a hard. It's not. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a hard game to play through. It's more geared towards the narrative, maybe some puzzles in there, but the art in the dialogue is just impeccable right now. So I'm loving it. I really am. So
I've been having my eye on that one. I think I won't have any free time to play something new like that I haven't already planned to. But that's one that I think down the road, maybe with a sale or something, I want to probably get that one.
I think for both of you, I would recommend it, just because I know people say to compare it to Earthbound and stuff like that, but they only compare it to that because of just the charm it has. It has like the same level of charm, I think.
That's why I bought it, and it's on my Switch Lite waiting for me. When I have less life stuff in my face, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time when I'm like stressed learning a new game. Like, I have to go to stuff that like I know how to do. But I bought it as soon as we saw it at like the one of the recent indie directs, and I was like, I have to have it.
Yeah,
I have to have it. I have to have it.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've just been doing Life is Strange. I talked about it on the Play Some Videos Games podcast briefly. I think once we give it time, like once I think it comes out on Switch, I'll go a lot more in depth with that, because I know a lot of people are waiting for the Switch release. But in a nutshell, I loved it a lot. It did a lot of things that I really liked. Really good characters. Just my good Life is Strange. Like, I can just dive into it and cry and just.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a game like that.
I feel like that's next week's game. Like, I need to decompress from the stress of this week, and it's been kind of a crap show for me. And I think next week I'm just going to cry. And I think that's the game that will, like, sometimes you get to the place where you're so stressed that you can't. We'll just use this game to drive me over. Like, here you go. Like, make me cry.
I think
I'll feel better.
Sean Capri was saying that he needs to play that game at the right time, when like he needs like that cry or that, you know, that really deep feeling. And I get that. That's definitely that type of game.
Perfect. Excellent.
So yeah, I know people want to hear about direct stuff, so I won't, you know, go too much into that until we've all had our chance to play it and get it. But what everybody is probably here for and listening for is our Nintendo Direct, our one that we were kind of expecting, because they usually do have one in September, and it's 40 minutes of Nintendo goodness. They advertised it that it was
quite a bit.
40 minutes of, they said, winter releases, which a lot of people were thinking, like, does that mean the end of 2021? Does that mean like it could go into, you know, February, March territory? They always give us a little bit more than just that. So they started us off with Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak DLC coming summer 2022. It's a tease with like a dragon. They said it's a massive expansion.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah. That dragon was pissed, and I was like, yes, let's fight that mad dragon. This is probably going to be, Garrett, I don't know how you feel about it, an Iceborne sized expansion. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
Because they were saying there would be, I think they dropped little hints that there might be some tool up, like changes and stuff like that in there too.
Yeah, they said just new monsters, new quests, new story expansion. That very much sounds like an Iceborne type level expansion. I imagine it's going to be $40 or something sizable of a price.
They're saying it's
for that
massive
type of expansion.
So, I love it when people
there you go.
Is that game out on PC yet? It's not out on PC yet, right?
No, but I don't know if it's rumors or actually confirmed, but like it's leaning towards it's going to be coming out earlier next year or something like that.
I would like to see. Yeah, but the problem is then they always delay the DLC launch. Damn it, Capcom! Get your
they always do that.
But I'm excited about this because I love Monster Hunter. Just give me more monsters.
At what point in the trailer or the teaser, I guess I should say, did you know it was Monster Hunter? Because I would have sworn that they would start with a Smash Fighter. I was like kind of waiting. I couldn't really tell what it was at first. Kind of got the feeling with the dragon, but
it was the dragon.
It was the dragon.
It seemed pretty clear to me right away just because of the art style and how Capcom does those things. And I was like, this is going to be Monster Hunter. What I was surprised by, because they pitched this thing as winter, and I would have maybe guessed Q1 next year as well, is that they were like summer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
that's a hell of a way to open a show that you told me was winter in Q1. And I was like, oh, that's
summer next year.
Summer.
Like, I don't think we understand winter the same way.
I'm also surprised that they started the show off with DLC. I can't remember another direct that started with the DLC. Usually we get like a brand new game or some.
This felt like it could have just been a new like they could have announced another Monster Hunter. That's how it felt.
That's what I thought it was at first.
Yeah, a new game. I was like, that's a really long break before you drop this DLC. Like that's over a year since the game was out. So I was surprised by that. And I guess maybe this speaks to how well this game sold for Capcom.
Right.
That's
it sold really well on Switch. And they're like, all right, let's keep it coming.
Yeah. They'd rather do it like almost a whole game's worth of an expansion than just make people buy another game, because you're more likely to get the people who already have it. I guess.
I'm wondering if they'll do what they did with Iceborne and give a physical release as well, or if it'll only be digital.
Very much so. I imagine a special edition for this.
More amiibo. Give me more amiibo.
More amiibo. That medieval dark dragon. I thought that was really cool. It's like every time they do an expansion or just the main game, it's a very different vibe. And this is very much like a Dark Souls like type of personality behind this DLC, and I love it. I love it. It's fresh every time.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. This gave me I don't know, Dark Souls, a dark world type
Gothic,
of evil Gothic dragon vibe. And I'm like, okay, this dragon's pissed. Let's go. Like, all right, I'm in. I'm back in.
Let's beat it up.
Let's fight.
I need to get back into it. I got to warm up with my character, so. It's been a while.
Yep.
Excellent. Love that you're happy about it. Next, they showed some more stages and mini games for Mario Party Superstars, which is coming out on October 29th. I think they were showing, was it some boards from like the N64 games?
Yeah.
Were those primarily the ones that they were showing? Yeah.
That's exciting to me. They showed day-night cycle stuff, kind of.
The day-night cycle was cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
The part that I liked that they confirmed was that we'll be able to play not just the board games, but the mini games online with people on our friends list. That was something that was added a little way too late to Super Mario Party, which people were like, why are you just adding this now? I'm glad that this will be there from the start. I'll probably pick up this game. I have owned one Mario Party. It was on the GameCube. But I think if there's going to be a lot of people who are like trying to play the mini games together, or like, just trying to get up and play with this, I might. I think it has like that nostalgia factor.
There's something to be said for buying a Mario Party game and getting super pissed at the members of your family. So I'm in. Because there is worse rubber banding in Mario Party than in Mario Kart. It's bad. So that means my kids and I will inevitably like flip over tables and be mad. It's like,
did you see the stars flipped? Like it's all those type of things in there.
You know how you play Monopoly with people that you love, and then you hate them and you flip over a table? This is the digital version of playing Monopoly with people that you love. So I'm in, because I love when my kids
totally unfair
at a video game. Yeah, this would be great. Great.
Are you guys gonna get it?
I'm gonna
probably
buy it.
Not.
I can't.
Yeah, you always buy games, Elaine.
I buy everything. Somebody tweeted, and I don't know who it was, so I can't give credit. They tweeted, buying games and playing games are two completely separate hobbies. I agree.
Indeed.
I'm very good at one and not the other. But I am going to get this because my kids will really love it.
I was going to say, definitely with your kids. It's like a no-brainer. Are you still on the fence, Garret, or are you probably going to pass on it?
Mario Party games, to me, like, I don't know. I haven't had like a good party game together in a while, and I haven't played Mario Party since probably the GameCube or Wii days. So I think I'm okay skipping this. I don't like spending a ton of money on party games. Maybe once I get a job and want friends over, sure, yeah, that would be a great game to get into.
I think it's adorable that you think this will get better when you get a job. It's very cute.
I
love
know,
it
right?
So much. It's just gonna be, you're gonna get home from work, slam the door behind you, put your arms back, and be like, no more people every day.
Just
That's how
go
it
to
happens.
sleep.
Done.
Yep. The next game was a Garret game, and I said that as I was
Yes.
watching it. I was like, this is a Garret game. Do you want to talk about it? I don't know what I
Sure.
watched. I don't know what this was.
It is called The Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars.
That's
the
a
weirdest
stupid name. It's a stupid
Yeah,
name,
it's a
but whatever.
stupid name.
It's cool.
But it is a card tabletop RPG, all based on cards. The characters are cards. The terrain is cards. The combat is cards.
everything is cards.
Yeah, and it's made by actually by Yoko Taro.
So
That's one of the creators.
It's super funny because I was like listening to the video start to play before they announced what this was, and I was like, that sounds like some Nier music. What's going on here? And immediately then I saw, creator. I'm like, there it is. I'm really excited about this. I love card bait, like weird card mechanics in games, and they just said, you know what would be cool if all the mechanics were cards.
I didn't know that you were into that also, Elaine.
I like
feel like
it.
I'm the
I
odd
do
person
like
out
it.
here.
I do like it. Like I love roguelikes that are card games, like Slay the Spire. I loved Cold Step Saga, which is a DS game, and others. There was a 360 version of that game too. I'm way into this, and anything that Yoko Taro does is going to be weird. So let's go. Like, absolutely.
It looks really cool. I like the art style of it as well. So I can't wait to see what the mechanics are. The demo's out. I have it downloaded on Switch. I haven't had time to play it, but it is out now to try out. And you should, even you, Donnie. Even you.
Well, Donnie's not going to play this. Are you crazy?
Yeah, right.
I can see
He's going to put like a firewall.
He's going to block you from everything. You're done, Garret.
You couldn't pay him
Pretty
to
much.
play the demo.
No, you really couldn't.
No. Are you crazy?
It's out at the end of the month in October, the 28th. Yeah, try
Which
the
is
demo.
crazy.
Everything
That's
is
pretty
out
soon.
Everything is out in October.
I know.
Why?
I know. October's going to be busy. Speaking of another game coming out in October, they also, and I thought this was already on the Switch, Disco Elysium. They're saying the Final Cut is a Switch port. Comes out digitally October 12th, physically early 2022.
So this
was this not already out on Switch?
No, and it was previously announced alongside the PS4, PS5 like version, and the other versions of the game, and then it coming to PC as essentially a free upgrade to the existing game. So they're just finally giving it a date on Switch. This game is incredible. There's some really amazing writing. I think that this is a really great one. This is a great game, but it's narrative completely. So if you're not into that, and it's dark. Your main character is essentially an alcoholic, so be ready. Like if that's upsetting to you, fair warning, But I really like Disco Elysium. I'm glad more people have access to it.
I heard it's really good. I need to try it out. Really good.
Next, they showed Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, the expansion pass, the second wave. The first wave is already out. Then they showed us Wave 2, Guard of Remembrance, which is also out October 28th. I forgot this existed. I didn't play the first wave. A lot of it got data mined, so I felt like what I was watching in this, I felt like I had already known about it because I had read the data mines. Couple new characters, couple new missions. They showed some really cryptic, something else is going to happen to Teriko, the baby guardian. We don't really know what, but we already went through and saved him in the first, the base part of the game. I'm
the least hyped
if
about
they're
this.
Gonna make me do that again. No, I feel like at some point down the road I'll probably buy both waves of the DLC and try it out. But I said this with the first wave. I feel like I got my fill from that game. I don't need more of that.
My biggest struggle was it just doesn't run super well. Like you're putting this up against hardware. Like I like the idea. I like Dynasty Warrior style games. I like Warriors games, but because it's so chunky, it's really hard to enjoy it for me. Like I played it and I don't hate it. My kids liked it too. But do I have an interest in going back with DLC? I don't think I need to. I agree with you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This is the least hyped DLC I've ever seen in my life.
Which is a shame. I feel like that's a shame because it's Zelda, and I feel like
Yeah,
Koei Tecmo does. I feel like I don't know. I'm happy for the people who are excited. I know there's a lot of people who are really excited about this game and this DLC,
Right.
and I don't want to bring them down because like this is totally up their alley, and like more of what they already like is good.
I agree.
Just not for us, I guess.
I like the new characters. What was the two like scientists together?
Cora and Robbie. They do look cool. They look cool.
The only thing with this, when I look at that DLC pack, like that's something I'll play for 30 minutes and just be good.
Yeah,
that's the only thing about it. I know people are super excited about it, but that's
I think I have a thing with DLC in general. Like it's hard for me once I've completed a game to get me to go back because then I have to relearn the mechanics. But if I approach a game when it's complete or a director's cut, I'm more likely to play through all the content. So this is really just a mental gap for me. It's not that it's bad content. I just want to be clear. So
yeah, I would have been into this a lot if it was like right when the game had first come out. Yeah,
exactly.
Do we? Like I said, maybe I'll get like an itch to go back to this game, and I probably wouldn't replay the game. I would probably just get the DLC and like kind of scratch that itch through that.
Do we think that they're going to release like a definitive edition with all the stuff roped in eventually?
They probably will because I don't think we have this in the notes after the direct. I think it was in the Japanese version of the direct or notes or something. They came out that that Breath of the Wild and Splatoon 2 are both getting physical editions with the DLC included.
Oh, good!
Wow.
So that's a great deal for both of those games. So I could definitely see them doing something like that for Hyrule Warriors. I wonder if they'll do that. The DLC on the cartridges over in the States at some point too for those games.
I hope so. The Splatoon 2's Octopath DLC is exceptionally good.
It's so
hard,
good,
but it's really good. It's arguably like enhances the game in a very fundamental way. You should. It's very good.
It's way better than the campaign that comes with the game.
Like by a lot. Like if that had been the base game that had been released, a lot of people would have been a lot happier with Splatoon 2 out the gate.
Oh yeah.
But my kids go back to that DLC over and over. They like it that much. It's great.
That DLC, I maintain that DLC was my game of the year of 18, whatever year it came out. It was that good.
It was. I would argue I liked it more than Splatoon 1 stuff. And I liked Splatoon 1 a lot, but that DLC was exceptional. It was special. Highly recommend
it. Really was.
Played it. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'll pass on that DLC. The next one caught me by surprise.
Right?
I'm gonna mispronounce this. Chocobo? Is that how you say it?
Chocobo.
GP. Yeah. I saw the kart racer. I'm like, that's like kind of weird. It's a Final Fantasy kart racer. Yeah. Also known as the Mario Kart ripoff. They say, you want Mario Kart 9? Too bad, you get this instead. It's out exclusively for the Switch and sometime in 2022. It looked cute.
Who greenlit
It looked really cute.
It's adorable, and I want it.
Actually,
who greenlit this nonsense? Who was like,
so
what we need to do?
We need a Final Fantasy racer.
Yeah.
Right. This game was actually announced for 3DS, and it was in development for 3DS.
God,
really?
Right. Oh my
God! I don't remember that.
And then they dropped it like for years, and now it just magically came up. It's the weirdest thing to see.
Huh?
It's like, I guess the Switch is doing good, so I guess we'll throw in this game.
I mean, and Final Fantasy has kind of made a pushback with the 7 remake stuff, and it's in people's and Final Fantasy 14 is doing well, so they're like, it's a good time for a chocobo riding a kart racer now. Like, sure, it looks ridiculous. I love a good kart racer.
I do too. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy at all, so I probably wouldn't enjoy it. But hey, it's cool. Do you think it'll be $60?
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a square joint. It'll be $60.
True. Very true.
The thing is with this game, when I was looking through the trailer, it looks a little too close to Mario Kart. I wish they just did a little different in the art style, or just less, I don't know, Mario to me. I was just like, if I would have seen like maybe a millisecond of that gameplay, I would hesitate to say if it's a Mario Kart or another racer. Like, I'm
That's fair.
I don't know.
Let me pose this. What if they had said, $19.99, here's Final Fantasy Mario Kart DLC. Would you buy it?
Yes. Why not? They're dumb. They're dumb kart racers. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would want that more because I really like Mario Kart's mechanics, and I feel like if you bite off of Mario Kart, you never get it quite right. There are very few games. Like, I think the Sonic Racer, the most recent one, did a pretty good job of feeling unique. But this is a tough sell for $60.
Yeah.
You have to really be into both, I think, the Final Fantasy and the kart racer, which
And
I'm
kart
sure
racer.
there's people. I'm sure there's an audience there for that.
Yeah. I feel like this is like you can't come at the king and swing like this with $60 as a price tag. This will be bargain bin, unfortunately, in like 2 months. It'll be down to $20. Which is a bummer.
They bogged down the price in Square Enix games. So
Yeah, I feel like there's besides even Mario Kart, like there's other competing kart racers on the Switch.
They're like
There's a number of them, I think.
That Sonic Team Racing, Sonic All-Star Racing is very good. Chad agrees.
There's a Sonic one. Isn't there there's Crash Team Racing?
Crashes is the best one. All right.
That's a hot take. That is a
hot
spicy,
take coming in right now.
That is not a jalapeno. That is a habanero take. That is a ghost pepper ass take. People are going to come for you. Godspeed, Garret. I can't get with you on this take.
But it's so good. So good.
That's a Pocky's one chip challenge take. I'm gonna let you live that life.
I'm more of a Nickelodeon kart racers person myself.
Oh no.
No.
Don't do it.
You're gonna buy that brawler too? You're gonna buy that Smash knockoff? You're gonna do it?
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord, no.
Oh, can we do a stream together with Nickelodeon Brawler? I just want to do that.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah,
that's probably a game that my library will get that I can rent and just not have to pay any money for
that's
it.
A really
so
smart
I'm
idea.
gonna do that.
I'll do that. I'll play. All right, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that and play with you. Yeah.
Don't spend your money on it. We'll just rent it the same week.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes.
The next game that they showed, which it leaked beforehand. I don't know if you guys saw this. A couple of the news websites were covering it, so I wish that I hadn't seen that.
Me too.
They revealed a new Kirby game. It opened up with just kind of abandoned urban area. You probably would not have guessed that it's a Kirby game. And then we see Kirby washed up on the beach, and it's called Kirby and the Forgotten Land. But it's not just any old Kirby game. It's special because it's the first 3D Kirby. It's like a 3D
This is such a big deal.
Type of
this
Kirby.
is such a fun thing to me. Like, I think because I've been jonesing for a 3D Mario game, like another one, and I've been like, oh, give me Odyssey 2, give me something. But so they were like, I got you. How about Kirby in Nier's environments? And I'm like, all right, Nintendo.
Like,
it kind of the environment gave me the Last of Us vibes.
Yeah, there were some very good memes floating around where they just put those kinds of titles over top of them and stuff. It was very funny to me.
It's an interesting premise and atmosphere. It reminds me of a JRPG, like textbook Spike Chunsoft JRPG going on there. So, but
I was
it looks
also
fun.
kind of getting some Mario Odyssey vibes too with the way he was bouncing around. I like, so I'm wearing my Kirby shirt tonight.
Yay!
I really love Kirby as a character. I have only played one Kirby game ever. I played Nightmare in Dreamland.
Oh, honey.
Way back in the day when I was a child.
Oh, no. Well, so old. Hold on. Crumbling to dust for a minute. Let me take a deep. I've played a lot of Kirby games.
It's on my shelf. I have it on my shelf along with Kirby.
Oh, that's very nice.
I do love him.
I love Kirby.
I feel like I have never played other Kirby games as I was growing up and like into adulthood because I just look at all of these Kirby games and they look exactly the same to me. They just look like Kirby and another platformer through his dreamland, all of his worlds and stuff. And it's all the same types of enemies and all the same types of abilities. And there's little gimmicks and quirks in each and every one of them. But I have been wanting them to do something new with the Kirby franchise for a long time now. I think that was something maybe like months ago on Shaq. We talked about like what franchises need some kind of reboot or, reimagining or something. And I think we said Kirby to do something different with it. I really like this. I like that they're taking kind of this step into the water here and seeing maybe what this could be like. I'm probably like, as long as this keeps looking good, which it looks good so far, I'm probably gonna get this. This will probably be my first Kirby game in a long time just because It looks like it looks promising.
We have to talk.
Oh, he's
okay?
like-
We have to talk
Elaine,
about.
Heating up
Okay.
over here.
You have to know that I don't do platformers.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like Kirby's Epic Yarn was maybe my favorite.
Oh,
That
that's a
looks
really
so
good one.
cute.
So it's cute. It's not super
love that
hard,
one.
and it's so cute and joyous. And they tried to do it with Yoshi, but it wasn't quite as good. But
It wasn't that good.
Kirby's
Yeah.
Epic Yarn might be my favorite Wii game. Like it's
Yep.
up there. And then there was Curse of Rainbow Road, I think, or something like that. That was on
Oh,
the,
I
the
like
two
Rainbow
that.
screen.
Curse.
Yeah, and you
The DS, yeah.
you would draw the
Draw the
rainbow
rainbow,
line.
yeah.
to move
Yeah.
them through. That was awesome. Those two.
I feel like with those
yeah.
types of games, with those like Kirby's, Yoshi's, even like the 2D Mario's, it's like I play a couple of the levels and then I just get bored. Because it feels very the same.
Oh, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's fair. It's not everybody likes platformers, but those
Yeah.
for me, Kirby games like are joyous in a very special way. Like they make me feel
Mhm.
happy because they're so
Yeah,
cute. I
it
just
is
wanna-
so
Yeah,
cute.
very
So
cute.
But
This
this
Kirby
looks so
game,
inspired. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Garrett.
I'm very convinced to buy this game. And I haven't been convinced to buy a Kirby game in a long time.
Yeah.
And when I saw that trailer and I saw that gameplay, I'm just like, oh, this might be a day one purchase for me. Like, it's actually unexpected. So
The environment looks so
Bravo.
cool though. Like there's a story to tell here because it really does look like that like apocalyptic type of setting which you wouldn't expect at all from a Kirby game. You know, this bright,
Yeah.
sunny, cheerful character? What's going on here?
You know
Yes,
what?
I'm
I hope
curious.
this is a Smash Brothers connection going on here because
Ooh, you
Kirby is the most powerful character in Smash.
Yes.
Because World of Light. Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's
that
a
would be
good
cool.
point. That's a good connection. I like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited about this. I'm a little bummed that it's going to be so long to come out because this one is what did they say? Spring 2022.
Spring
Yeah.
2022, which we have kind of a window there. We know it'll come sometime around that first half of the year, probably. I don't know. TPR posed a question to us. How has the new Kirby gameplay shaped your expectations for the game?
I feel like it's going to feel like a mix of Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And it's specifically with Kirby, and it's specifically because Kirby can inherit powers, and that was
Yes.
very much a Mario Odyssey thing. Like they bit
That was the
off-
vibe I
Yes.
was getting.
and
Mhm.
that so now when you come back to Kirby in 3D, it's gonna feel like that to me, which I think is a really good thing because 2D
Yes.
Kirby, I needed a break. I want more. I want to do more things with his powers. So I think this would be cool. I'm excited.
Mhm. It's going to
I
feel
love
very
how
natural.
his
yeah.
expressions are just so like his eyes will get all big. Ugh, I just love Kirby. I want to be I'm like very excited that I'm excited for this game because I've never been excited about Kirby and I just love him as a character. So this is
Aw.
good. This is good.
Yeah.
I identify with Kirby. I'm always hungry. I wish that I could. I identify. I'm a little squishy sometimes. I identify with Kirby. I love him. Big fan.
Awesome. Yeah, this was one of the highlights for me for this direct for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Let's see. Oh wait, did I skip over that they showed the
Yeah, they showed that
Okay, I
they will.
skipped over
They
that.
told us that they will tell us that there will be a Smash Brothers character on October 5th.
Oh, yeah.
They announced an announcement.
That was the thing.
They officed this.
I
They
don't know
officed
why
it.
they did that. It's like,
Well,
okay,
they did that because if they went the whole direct without showing any Smash, then all you would be hearing afterwards on Twitter is, "What? That's it? No Smash?" So
true.
they're just
They-
kind of setting us up and saying we don't have it right now, but we'll go into it. And it's not that much longer. What is it? Next week?
Yeah. and
Yeah.
they did it-
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Yes, a week and a half. They did it also with Animal Crossing. They did the same
Mhm.
thing. And I think for the same reason, because people are expecting one more big update towards the end of the year for that game. And they did the exact same thing afterwards, where they're just like, there's going to be a direct in October. And then the new content will be later in the year.
They did show us a tease for the Animal Crossing where we're gonna have Roost, and I feel like fans have been asking
Yeah.
for Brewster and Roost. We saw that in the museum. But the thing that gets me really excited is that they didn't just have a little update trailer in the direct for Animal Crossing. They're actually telling us there's going to be a full Animal Crossing direct in October, which kind of gets me feeling that it could be something sizable.
Do we think it'll be like a full-on expansion and not just like holiday content? Is that what you're feeling?
I'm thinking so, because if it's, oh man, that would be pretty disappointing if it was just like normal holiday updates that
Right.
It'd be a huge
they
letdown,
just
yeah.
put in the direct. It's like, why couldn't you just put like 5 minutes of stuff in the direct?
Exactly.
I'm expecting this will at least be 15, 20 minutes worth of stuff, which
I hope so. Maybe we'll get
know
more.
it's going to be Brewster. They'll probably go in depth with like what his deal is. I would love some kind of island expansion.
That would be great.
I heard talks of more villagers, that they might add more villagers to the game. I don't know that that would bring people back into the game, but it might be good for like people who are still playing. I don't know. What would bring you back into it at this point?
Boy, that's hard for me. I have no idea. It'd be really hard. That was like a very perfectly timed pandemic game for me, where I didn't have the mental capacity for much else. But I could see them also going into another series of Animal Crossing like amiibo cards here too, and maybe more amiibo if they bring in more like loved characters. So I mean, they could have a sizable amount of stuff to discuss here, and that would be cool.
I think for me, I mean, I kind of gave up on it once Fiona just like grabbed the island and played so many hours of it. And I'm just speaking just for her. It's like she's kind of done with the game. She's like, I've done everything that I can on the island. I've done the most. I've you know, all the different items and everything and decorations. And it's just like the only thing I can think of is just more space, more land to
Build
do
out
stuff.
the island. Yeah,
because you don't want to flatten what you've already done. You've worked so hard. You don't want to get rid of all of that stuff, but you want to keep going. So what do you do?
I see so many people do that too, and I'm just like, no. If I made an achievement like of that caliber of like building so much stuff, and it's like I'm not gonna decimate it to just build more stuff. It's like,
agreed.
Yeah.
Totally
Anyways,
for me, I think. Really, I tweeted about this. The thing that's holding me back from jumping back into that game, because I can always make more stuff for myself to do, but it just takes so long to like load into the game. It feels like with every update, it takes longer and longer to just like sit through those load screens and sit through what Isabel has to say before I can finally take control of my character. I don't know if it's possible for them to have an update that would like
expedite
that. But that would be nice. But as far as content update goes, the more space. If they didn't do an expansion on an island, I hope that they would bring Cap'n back and like have us maybe go to like a second smaller island like nearby that we could build on. Maybe we have more buildings there. Like maybe it's more of like a city folk type of thing where we can go there. I want them to bring back lots of more furniture and like items and stuff that I can decorate with. There were so many more. I saw a chart recently of like how many like different furniture items there were in each of the Animal Crossing games. And New Leaf had 70% more by the end of like their, you know, all the DLC and stuff than Animal Crossing on New Horizons did, which is a huge amount.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so more of that,
Huge
just to like kind of keep decorating and like have new ideas and stuff. And then I think just like, I don't know, they have to like change up the events or you know, something to like make me want to log in each day.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard for this game. Like, it's past now enough that it's really hard to drag me back. Like, I find
maybe
really
like finally fix those quality of life things just to streamline it more. Like, I'm not trying to take a half an hour to like pave one sidewalk or something like that. Like, just really streamline it. I want to have to like craft every item individually. It's such a pain. It slows things down. I've been playing for long enough now. Something like that would be really welcome.
I feel like when you get to a certain point too, like the golden items, there either should be another tier that are completely unbreakable, or the golden items should be made unbreakable. Because like, come on, Nintendo.
You've done it for that long.
I did the work. I put the time in. Just like, it's like breakable weapons in video games. Can we not? Just please.
Just at least one like set of items to do that.
Yeah, even if it's like you get to the golds and they have like a platinum tier and it's a pain to craft, but you never have to do it again, because that would expedite what you carry with you and how much you have to go back and recraft.
And it would motivate you to do it.
Yeah, it would give you something to do for a little bit.
But
so,
I think that something like this will probably bring in players again. Definitely not everybody, but I hope it is something sizable. And I'm glad that they're giving us like a not too far away timeline for it too. We'll hear about it within the next month. We'll get it within 2 months.
Yeah, before the holidays is a good time to give people this.
Speaking of game updates, Mario Golf got a software update that same day, adding 2 new playable characters, Koopa Troopa and Ninja.
I love Ninja. Ninji's adorable. I don't need to
Oh,
play
really?
more. I don't need to play more Mario Golf. But Ninja
Yeah,
be
I don't
cute.
think anyone
I'm
wants to
good.
play more Mario
I'm
Golf.
good. I'm good.
When
I'm
they
okay.
showed it, I was hoping that maybe they would finally add those online tournaments, and that would finally maybe convince us to pick it up.
Yep. No, this has been a
Oh, no.
disappointing. This one's
Yeah.
been disappointing for me.
Yeah,
So
that's
I think it's
sad.
been disappointing for a lot of people. So
mhm.
Yeah,
Poor choices.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
sad.
Yeah.
Couple other things that they announced: Disney Magical World 2. Any interest in that? Anyone?
Where did
We
this
can
come
skip
from?
that.
Yeah,
Star
we're good.
Wars: Knights of the Old Republic coming to Switch.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
that was like a Hallmark college game for me. That game is special. I'm glad that they're putting
Yeah.
it on Switch. I would replay that again.
Me
in a
too.
heartbeat.
Are they doing that because they know that the remake can never come to the
Yeah,
Switch?
Probably. And also
So they're like,
That.
yeah. Also, like it's an easy-ish, like low-hanging fruit. People are thinking about Star Wars with the
Yeah.
remake being
Yeah.
announced. This is also Aspyr who's doing it, so they're doing this and the new remake. So
Yeah, Aspire's been porting these Star Wars old games to Switch into multiple platforms. Of course, they're going to put it on the Switch.
yeah,
And
as long as the price is right, I will totally pick it up on the Switch.
KOTOR is a totally solid game
So
still.
good. The writing in
Yeah, it's
KOTOR
going to be perfect
is
on
exceptional.
handheld. Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Dying Light 2 cloud version is coming on February 2nd, 2022.
I did not expect that, actually. It's cool to see that, to see more cloud versions of a game, especially for Dying Light 2. It seems like Nintendo, I don't know if they're just being selective on these cloud version stuff, but yeah.
We're seeing them pop up here and there. They're starting to come more and more. Yeah.
Very carefully picked games, too. I feel like these games, they're not like really huge games, but they're very noticeable devs, very impactful games. I think Dying Light 2 is going to be a great game, good to great game for sure.
I hope so. I want it to be good so bad.
Yeah,
so bad.
Me too.
I love the first, and
yeah, me too. I very much love the first.
Coming on October 19th is Dying Light Platinum Edition. So if you haven't played the first one, that'll be coming as well.
I'm assuming this is with all the DLC. I'm curious how this is going to run. I'm curious how this is going to run, and I'm curious what the price tag is on this. Does anybody know?
It's $50.
Is it 50? I mean, we're going to see how this runs. Like, I would.
That's the thing.
I feel like I would rather just chunk this into my PC and like hammer it with power. It runs kind of crappy even on a modern PC sometimes. So
I would rather play on a PS-based PS4 than a Switch, maybe.
I would recommend
That's the
if
thing.
you're interested in Dying Light, maybe keep an eye on like review coverage for this one just to see how it runs, because they do not optimize that. They did not optimize that game well, so it probably runs like crap.
Yeah,
so that's unfortunate. So.
Is it not Project anymore? Triangle Strategy.
Yes!
We see that again. Remember that game from, I think they showed it last year. They've updated the game based on survey feedback, just like how they did Octopath Traveler. It has a release date now, coming March 4th, 22. Garrett's excited.
I'm very excited.
It's beautiful.
This is probably my most excited game of the Direct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, look at you. I had very big excitement for later stuff, but this looks beautiful. I'm really excited.
Do you remember the stuff that they added based on feedback?
I don't know.
It's a lot of different features. I feel like a lot of surveyed feedback. It's like, I think you were gonna do this anyway. Like, I don't know why survey feedback is like that much of an impact. I think they just wanted a market spin to feel like the users have some input.
We listen to fans.
We hear you.
Exactly.
And we care. It's very much like a corporate overlord, like gaslighting technique almost. I swear. I swear. No, you were gonna do this anyway. You knew how this. You knew what was wrong. You beta tested this. You knew. It still looks beautiful. I still love the way this game looks.
I don't know how I feel about the camera angle thing where you can like shift around and kind of see it 3D. Like, that's kind of funky.
It gives me Paper Mario vibes.
Yeah, they do that just because you want different angles of the stage when you're doing a tactics battle. You want to make sure you see everything. They do the same thing with Disgaea. They do the same thing with plenty of other strategy games. So it's like, you don't even have to do it. I mainly don't do that on strategy games. So, but difficulty, mainline like strategy thinking, and like just like the color spacing and everything. I'm glad that they're, advertising it. I don't know if it's because of survey feedback, but they are
God
advertising new features.
Ridiculous, absurd.
Is anyone shocked that they kept the name Triangle Strategy after they kept the name Octopath Traveler?
No. I mean, I feel like we
surprised at
missed
all.
some other shapes in between, and we need to discuss what happened to the hexagons and the squares of the world. 'Cause I'm confused and upset. Yeah, like I'm just like, we went from 8 to 3. What happened to 7 and 6? And I'm very deeply upset about this. I have questions.
Me and Sean Capri are Team Triangle. We're ready to go.
But like an isosceles, do you need all the sides to be the same size, or are you weird about that? Like an
I don't
acute
know.
idea? Yeah, see, you got to think about this.
I don't know.
I'm curious to see what they do with this triangle thing. Is it because it's like 3 storylines? Like, where are they going with some of that?
I think it's 3 factions or something like that. It's like 3 houses. Or
Sure. God, no, we've done that one already. You couldn't have just you have to. Come on, guys. Like, get with it. Good Lord.
I'm glad it got a release date, though.
Yeah, me too. And I'm glad it's soon. That's encouraging. That means it's close to being done.
March 4th.
Yep.
They showed a too lengthy Metroid Dread trailer.
I tried
not to watch too closely.
I called it on my Twitter. I said that this is what they're going to do because they're really leaning hard for this game, and I hope it.
Which I'm glad about. I'm glad that they're leaning into this. I'm glad it's getting the marketing push that it deserves. I just feel like if you've watched every trailer, maybe you've played the game by now. They made a point at the end of the trailer to say, and if you want to see more, go to our website where we've outlined the entire game for you.
Like, it's crazy. Like I appreciate that they did show like the beginning parts of different environments and stuff, and I like that they show the elevator and then the pan out to show. It's rad, and I'm excited, but I would like to see less. I just want to play. I just want to play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it looks beautiful.
I'm so excited.
It looks stunning.
Great.
Frothing for this game. I'm so excited.
I like the monster chasing Samus a lot. The way that monster just lurks around different terrains and goes through the stage. It's creepy, and I love
2.5D like angles and stuff that you're getting. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Fusion is up there amongst my favorite of the Metroid games, and I'm really glad they're going like, this one scared the crap out of people. Let's dip back in and pull this mechanic back and use it for more things. I'm really excited to check this thing out.
Everybody go pre-order Metroid Dread. Comes out October 8th.
So soon.
One of the other bigger parts of the Direct was that they revealed an expansion to Nintendo Switch Online service. They're adding Nintendo 64 games as well as Sega Genesis games, which I think probably surprised a lot of people because...
Right. But what did they call this, though? What did they call it?
They called it the expansion pack. However, they misspelled pack.
Yeah,
they accidentally put a C in it. It should be.
Why did they do that?
I was really excited about the N64 when the Genesis thing popped up on the screen. I was like, "Are you sure? This feels wrong." I just read the book.
Does feel wrong.
I just read the book Console Wars where they were talking about the 90s, Sega and Nintendo. And I'm just like, no, that can't happen. Like, it was very strange.
I don't think any, we talked about what consoles we thought could be added. We were like, the Game Boy Advance. Like, nobody said Genesis because that's
no
not
one
Nintendo.
said Genesis.
That's weird.
It is weird, but it's cool because I never had a Genesis or any Sega console to be honest. So these are going to be brand new games for me to play. Now it is coming at a premium price. They're saying that this expansion pack you're going to have to pay more money for. Interestingly, they haven't said how much that is, but they did say it's launching. Late October. The pricing will come later. So let's go through these game lists, and then I want to hear what you guys think, and I'll tell you what I think. Cool. For N64, we're starting with Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, which those will have online multiplayer, by the way, up to 4 players.
Yes.
Yoshi's Story, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis, also has multiplayer, Win-Back cover operations, and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. They did say that will be added later for the N64, I guess kind of like that feed that we get every couple months or something. Added to it will be games like Majora's Mask, F-Zero X, Mario Golf, Pokemon Snap, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, Paper Mario, and they just slipped past and saw Banjo-Kazooie at the very end there, which I feel like they really
just a slip right there.
Just a slip, like, hey, not a big deal, but it's a big deal.
Yeah, I was pumped about Paper Mario. Like that one, putting that in there is a big deal. Yeah, I love Paper Mario.
Cool.
I've never played it, so that'll be exciting. For Genesis games list, they're starting with including Castlevania Bloodlines, Dr. Robotnik, Mean Bean Machine, Contra Hardcore, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe,
is a big message.
Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Rystar. I'm probably saying all these names wrong. I'm not a Genesis kid. Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2, and Strider.
This
is a good amount. It's a good amount to start.
List.
It's a good amount of games. Now, Ryan Turford has a good point in the chat. The best part of the Genesis games coming to Switch Online, like we already have almost all the games in a Genesis collection already on Switch, which is $5. And you could just get that. And it has more games. It has 40 games in it.
Yes,
and so
it does.
The Genesis games collection, it's a nice touch to put in. It's good to introduce people to it, but it's like, there's a lot better deals out there than what you're seeing face value.
Well, it also depends on what are they going to charge for it, though? That's the question.
Well, we don't know. Yeah. And are you feeling a little bit concerned that they didn't tell us?
I think they're still trying to figure out what they can get away with.
They're testing the waters.
They're gonna drop this, and they're gonna see all the tweets and the conversation around how much would you pay, and they're gonna totally use that to make a final call. I think it's a smart move because then they don't piss people off right up front.
Kind of like how they surveyed people, how much would you pay for WarioWare on the Switch?
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. I mean, let's say base price $20 a year for Nintendo Online. Can we see it going to 30? Or do we think they go to 40?
It could go more. Also, I just think, in a Nintendo Switch Direct, they don't want to show a price increase. They don't want to show a negative thing and extra information in there. That would be rough. And that's why they say, hey, we'll show it later, not during this presentation.
How are you feeling about the selection of Nintendo 64 games and seeing what's coming at an unknown time?
I mean, it's fine for me. The thing is, I did not play too much of license-related stuff on N64 games, so I don't have that nostalgia or that feel to it. The games you see right now, the N64 games you see, other than Super Smash Brothers, I didn't see a Super Smash Brothers announcement, right?
I didn't see it either.
Those were the games I played. That's it. Like I played Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Mario Tennis, Yoshi's Island.
You played all of these.
I played those games, so I'm very happy to see those games in there on my Switch. But for like people like Donnie and people like many other people that play like GoldenEye or WWE or these other licensed stuff, I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit of a lost hope because it gets really messy in there, and I highly doubt we're gonna see that in later updates. So
agree.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Agree.
I get what they're doing with like adding them over time, but I also don't get that at all. I don't see any reason for this. All those ones that they said are upcoming, there's no I hate being negative about this, but to me there's no reason to show us Majora's Mask, Mario Golf, Kirby, Paper Mario. Like these are all things that should have been on this service day one 3 years ago.
I kind of agree with you. And like, if they come in at a $30 price point for this instead of $25, those games should be in there.
I don't want to be I'm so happy that we're going to get to finally play these games on the Switch, but these aren't games that are in development. Like maybe for some of them, they have to work the online, sure, whatever. They've had the time to do this. Like all these upcoming ones don't even have online. Majora's Mask, Snap, man, like there's no reason that these shouldn't just be on it on day one. Like I would rather just have a huge back catalog on day one than like have us say like, okay, like in 8 months from now, I'll get to play Banjo-Kazooie. Like, I don't know.
Right. I feel like too, if you look at the list of games that are later, like they fill gaps in the existing list that would be great for certain people. Like I could see myself jumping back in just for Paper Mario because I haven't played it in years and I really love it.
But you have to wait for this. Like now
Right,
you
that's
have to
crazy.
wait until 3 Marches from now when they say, okay, we're going to add Paper Mario now.
Right. It's crazy. I like, to Garrett's point and Sean's point about, or Ryan's point about the Genesis collection, like, yeah, it's a good list, but it's also missing stuff like that I would have maybe, like, boy, just drop Sonics 1, 2, and 3 in there.
Right?
Drop Columns in there, which is, you know, Sega's iconic, like, puzzle game. Like, just come on. Like, Castlevania Bloodlines is an important inclusion. That game is incredibly expensive to acquire if you want an actual cart, and it's a great game. It's hard. It's wonderful, but, like, come on. Just...
It's not like these games, it's not like they don't already exist. Like they're not still developing them. Right. You know, we've said so many times, like, and I don't want to sound like, I don't know, like we're obligated to have these or to sound like we're entitled. Like I probably sound so entitled saying that, but these games are 25 years old. Yeah. Stick them on there. Let us pay for them. Let us play it. Right. Don't drip feed it and like act like it's new content because it's not.
It's not new content. And like, I understand why they drip feed it. Even just 3 or 4 months later, they want people to stay on the service. But you've made the service so cheap. $20 for an entire year just for cloud saves is worth it to me. Just
I agree with you.
I will 100% just pay for that. Like, that's fine. This is a bonus for me, so just give me all the bonuses and let me have my mood where I'm like, I want to play Castlevania Bloodlines or I want to play Paper Mario today, and I don't have to wait. Just give it to me. They also decided to drop, because there was a rumor about an FCC, you know, a license thing for a new controller, FTC.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So they dropped that they were going to give you the option to buy an N64 controller and a Sega Genesis controller. I believe they're priced at $50 each, which
they are.
Is spicy considering you can get like an 8-bit Genesis controller for much cheaper than that. And it's probably better quality. These are also going to follow along with the NES and SNES ones where you can only buy them if you're an online member. And even then they still sell out like crazy. But
I got my Super Nintendo one and I do like it, but you're right. Like
great
I also have the 8-bit one, which is much cheaper. And it's pretty much the same thing.
It's really nice too.
No one wants to hold an N64 controller in 2021. I'll get the arthritis, Nintendo. Like, I'm old. It hurts now. Like, I gotta stretch. Like, I need to, I cannot wait till people who have never touched one of those are like, what do I do with this? What?
I think my thoughts on the expansion pack being extra price or whatever, I'm actually kind of split. So like, big part of me, I'm kind of glad that this is piecemeal. I'm glad that I don't need to buy more of this to get the online functionality I need.
Yes.
I'm glad that it's extra. And so if it's $30 or $40, that's fine. It's for other people, but I can still pay the base price of $20 a year and just be totally fine with the same experience I have. And actually that's what I'm thinking in my head. It's like, I don't really need these games, and it's okay to be $20 a year and just be fine with it. And I'm gonna, like, I don't know if that's voting for my wallet. It's just more like that's just the preferred thing as a customer to your service right now, is that I rather just keep the base and be good.
I definitely agree.
I feel that. I think it depends on the price for me. I buy a family plan because I have 2 kids who are also on Switches, and then I have me. So that's $35 for a year for up to 8 people. Just so people know, like, that's a great deal.
That's I mean, for even one person, that would be still better than the competition.
Yeah, it's still cheaper than most other things you had to. It would be $60 for the 3 of us. It's $35. I could see them doing the thing where they only bump the family plan by $5 because it's already so cheap, to keep incentivizing people to just subscribe to that and stay subscribed. I mean, like, if it's $5 more a month, I would pay for it. If it's 10 plus, I don't think I would bother for these particular games.
I was going to ask, what's the maximum that it would take for you to say, no, I'll pass?
10 is too much. I just, because I think I would be, like, there's other ways for me. I could boot up my N64 to play Paper Mario if I really wanted to, you know, like, or you could buy it digitally on a storefront from another console. Like,
Right.
For just that,
I could see this price being easily $15 to $20
Yeah,
a
I do
year.
too.
I hope they don't double down, because if they go to 40 a year for what they're offering,
Mhm.
that makes it less compelling for a lot of people.
I think that's fine for a lot of people. It's like, fine, if you don't want to spend $40 a year, we
Yeah.
have a price for you. It's $20 a year, and you don't need to get these games, or you can get these games, but this is the price we're selling, and that's why I think they would go double the price on these. It's like, this is a premium. We're adding these games for you, and this is what we're setting at. So
You got to
could see
consider also,
the price.
is Genesis getting a nice little cut of this too for letting them use their games?
Probably.
Is that
there's
going to
licensing.
factor? Then that you have to consider that would factor into the price too. You know, we're getting Banjo-Kazooie. You know, you're
That's
getting
rare from Microsoft. But
Mhm.
my question is, like, didn't they already license these to put the Genesis collection on Switch? They might have already done that deal. This might be an
It might have
extension
been
of
just
something
exclusively
existing.
for that
Maybe.
collection.
Legal stuff gets really weird. I really hope they come in at 30 for an individual and 40 for family. That's what I would like to see them do, and I think that would be compelling enough for a lot of people to go, $10, I might do it.
I think that's the route that they go. I see them going not double. I think they do kind of in the middle there. $10 more, you get 2 consoles. That looks like a good deal because you're getting double the content for half the price. I think if most people look at this and they say, oh, $10 for a year just to play all these, my favorite childhood games, like, I'll do it for a year. And then they probably end up keeping the subscription
because you
anyway.
forget. And also,
Exactly.
that's $1 a month. When you less than $1 a month, it's like 75 cents a month. That's not, I pay more than
$10.
that.
That's like, that's going, to the movies, or it's cheaper to get a movie ticket, or cheaper than getting a movie ticket, and you get to play all of your favorite games for a year, however, whenever you want.
I've spent more than that on Starbucks in the last 2 weeks. Like, it's $10 is not like, and I think that they would keep the family plan where they just, say, here's $5 more for that go. And I think it would be cool to see my kids play some of these, but they would get tired of them very quickly. So if Nintendo is listening, if you really want to sell it, 30 individual, 40 family.
Hobie in chat brings up a point. $10 a year is still way less than each game via Virtual Console. I do think that N64 games on Virtual Console on the Wii U, I do think they're $9.99 each.
Oh, they are. They're expensive. They're expensive.
So like a pop. So yeah, I feel like that's probably the sweet spot for a year. Matt wanted to know how much you think they would charge for the expansion pack. He said, notice it's not required to play Switch games online. He says, I think it's going to be a monthly fee at around $5. That would make full access to NSO $80 a year for a single user. So he's saying $5 a month.
I think he's forgetting that it's 20 for the full year. There's no way they would do $5 a month just for this. Like,
that's what, that's
I could see $5 additional for the year. If they're really smart, that would be great. But I think they're going to go to 30. I really do.
I think it's going to be 35 to 40.
Ooh, I don't think they're going to double it. I just don't, because they're not adding any.
I could see it.
I could see it, but I think that's why they're doing this. That's why they floated it and didn't give a price.
You could say you don't have any online functionality. It's like, well, these are premium games.
Oh,
that's the thing. It's the premium set. It's the expansion pack, Elaine.
The premium games are the Super Nintendo ones. Where is my Earthbound Nintendo?
I know,
Get out.
But that's how they're going to spin it.
Man, get us on that rant. That's still inexcusable that there are still first-party games that aren't on NES and SNES service.
And you want to charge me more for N64 games that are not as good as some of those.
Preach.
To me,
because that, honestly, that makes me wonder, like, which of my favorite N64 games are never going to come? Are we going to get Pokemon Stadium? Are we going to get...
So Emily Rogers did tweet about having a stronger library for N64 and including Pokemon Stadium. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of first-party N64 games. Other than that, I think it's just going to be non-existent.
There weren't that many first-party N64 games that had absolutely massive impact, whereas the Super Nintendo has a catalog, a back catalog. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just big mad about the Super Nintendo.
I'm big mad too.
I'm grumpy. You're over here like, I'm going to charge you more, and I'm like, I don't want it. I'll pay more. Give me my Super Nintendo games. You want
Yeah,
to charge
that
me
makes
$5
sense.
more a month? Give me Earthbound. And
Where's
all that
Super Mario RPG? Like, where's they don't tell me that they're licensed and other companies would have to. Nintendo can do whatever they want. They have the money.
It's a Square joint.
Money talks.
You work with them all the time. They're making
Money
a
talks.
Chocobo game for your stupid.
It's
platform.
it's very weird.
It's weird.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
Yep.
Could
Well,
be Nintendo.
at least they did announce other better things after this. They did.
That's true. That is
They
very
did.
true.
They did a little sizzle reel that had things like Shadowrun Trilogy,
Mm-hmm.
Castlevania Advanced Collection, which I think had been leaked. We talked about that last week. That's very exciting. That's out now, right?
Out right
It's
now.
out now. Yeah.
Out now. As well as ActRaiser Renaissance Remastered out now.
I wasn't
cool little
expecting
That's a
surprise.
cool game.
That is
Yeah,
a cool
that's
surprise.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yep.
So cool.
Is Shadowrun
Castlevania-
Trilogy out now?
I don't remember if
I-
that one's out now. Is that out now? Those games are great.
I think so. Those games are really good. They're
Those
like
games are really good.
XCOM like games, and
If
they're
you-
very solid.
If you like Metroidvanias and you did not have a GBA, you need to have this Castlevania collection because these are amongst some of the better ones, especially Aria of Sorrow. These games are amazing.
That's
and
what I've heard.
I want to
yeah.
play them at some point.
They will be
I'll
mine.
find the time.
Yeah, with all your abundance of free time. After you get on these Kirby games that I've given you exhaustive.
Yes.
Damn it. Okay.
You got a backlog now, Rebecca.
Welcome
Oh,
to our
gosh.
life.
Now, I've always had one. Also out now, Deltarune Chapter 2, which I still haven't played because my life has been a
Dang.
train wreck. I'm going to finally play it tomorrow, and I'm going to play it on Switch now because I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play
Um,
this on Switch as well. I'm gonna play 1 and 2 back to back. I'm just gonna replay 1 and then go right into 2. I'm excited.
It's worth noting for that one, you don't need save data for Chapter 1 to play Chapter 2, though it's
Right.
recommended.
Cool.
Also, those were the only 2 free chapters. I think we touched on this last week, that chapters 3 onwards will be paid and will release
Yes.
together.
Yep.
So he says. He said that about Chapter 2 as well. I'm
People be
excited.
changing minds. Yeah, I look.
Toby Fox be awesome.
Yeah, like he can have all the space to do his weird stuff. I'm into it. Way into
That
it.
man, he released this and then he stayed up watching people play it and like listened to their bug reports and said, let me just go in the code and push out an update and fix it,
Love it.
and just
I
did
love
it.
This
Like
guy.
that same night, like an hour later after it came out.
Yep, that's awesome.
Love it.
I love that man.
Love it.
They had another video game sizzle reel, including things like Rune Factory 5 gets a release date. Right?
That's exciting.
Let's-
Rune Factory's good. Let's go.
Yeah, and that gameplay looks really good. Like very
Mhm.
evolved from Rune Factory 4. I'm very
Yep.
excited for that game coming out
Yeah.
next year.
Anything else notable about that? I don't know.
I didn't see
I didn't
much
see
other
anything
than
that
that.
jumped out at me. I'm
Okay.
sure there other people had other games, but then I got distracted by the thing that came after it, and I was like, "Whoa,
The
whoa!"
thing that came
slow
after it
down.
was the highlight of the direct for a lot of people.
Oh, it's so
And the-
much.
I
the
have
reason why-
feelings. I have
why we titled tonight's show what we titled it. Miyamoto came onto the screen and started talking about the Mario movie that is releasing next year on December 21st, a long partnership with Illumination. They wanted to show us not any, I was going to say gameplay, any footage or like trailers of the movie, but instead they wanted to share with us the voice cast of
Of
who
course.
will be playing the voices of some of the main characters. And then Chris Pratt's face came onto my screen.
And then Rebecca was just like, "I'm not paying attention to anything else you're saying." What?
my face, I was like, what? Like I thought he's going to be the voice of Mario. They went on to show Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be playing Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi,
That
Jack
tracks.
Black as Bowser.
Oh
Sure,
my gosh, yes.
sure. I need to lay.
It
down.
just each one just got progressively more. What?
It's when
What?
they hit. It's when they
What?
hit Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong that I was like, "Am I in a? Have you ever gotten a cold and taken too much NyQuil and then woken
No.
up in the morning
It's
and
a
had
fever
a weird
dream.
fever dream?" This felt like I was sitting and watching this with someone and I looked at her and I'm like, "I'm here right now, right? I'm okay." Because this does not
Yeah.
feel okay.
Keegan Michael Key is Toad, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Then they showed Charles Martinet's picture. He's just going to have some cameos. He's not even going to be
chilling.
Mario.
Of course he is.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm glad that he has some part in it. But yeah, this was definitely a fever dream. I was like, is this a prank? Are we getting punked? Like,
Okay,
is
am
This is
I-
a crazy cast, yeah.
this
It's great.
actually going to be a good movie? Like,
That's what I'm trying to figure out too. Elimination.
They're
I
the
think
ones
they did
behind
good movies.
Despicable Me.
Despicable Me.
They're funny.
So it's gonna be a
Those
fun
movies
kid movie of sorts. Okay.
They spent a lot of money on this film.
Honestly,
oh yeah, they
I
did.
feel like we think historically of video game movies as like bad, but if you think of recent video game movies, like I heard Sonic wasn't that bad.
Sonic's pretty good. Yeah.
Pokemon Pikachu Detective, what was that one called? Was fine. That was
Detective
good,
Pikachu,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Wreck-It Ralph is pretty good as well.
This might not be bad.
Oh, this could be excellent. Because it's got a good cast and it's got a good animator. The choice to make it an animated film was very smart. The choice not to do another Super Mario Bros. With a Babam that has Reeboks on was very smart. This is out December 21st, 2022.
That's like a solid, confident Christmas movie for next year.
But that's next year. That's interesting. It is. Coming in swinging at Christmas is smart with kids off from school. Super smart.
Movies normally do that. They like schedule way far ahead, and they set that deadline. Like they do a lot of the production now, and then they just do a lot of the editing and stuff for like months on end. Yeah,
I'm excited. Is it bad? I'm excited to watch this. I have to know.
I'm very excited to watch this.
I have to go see this in a theater. I
want to see what it looks like. I just want to see like.
What do you want it to look like? I want it to look like Mario Odyssey. I want it to have that like.
Really I want it very.
If it looks like that, that'll be good. Like I don't think it'll look.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
Is
poppy, colorful.
It will look like that. Yeah.
You think
it's like Despicable Me level of 3D animation. Yeah.
Yeah, they make
like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, they make good poppy colors. I'm excited. I was not expecting this. Like, I wasn't expecting them to be like, here's Miyamoto wearing a Mario shirt and a blazer over top, telling me that Chris Pratt is going to be the voice of Mario in a video game. Like, I really was like, I need to take a knee. I'm not okay. Like, I'm confused. And I was coming off that Castlevania Advanced Collection hot.
I'm curious, so. was this part of, because I know they have a separate direct for, like, the Japanese audience and so forth. Was this part of the direct in their presentation? And
I have no idea.
Were they wondering who are all of these like people?
That's an interesting question. Like, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if this is a worldwide theatrical release as well, like on date.
I would think so, because they get a lot more money outside.
Like,
of
obviously,
US
they would have Japanese
America.
voice actors for a Japanese release, but
right.
I'm curious if they were watching this direct and they were like, who are all these like?
If you don't know who
Chris Pratt is,
he's been in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a hit everywhere, right? I don't know.
But it's okay. You see his face, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, sounds good.
That's
Parks and Rec, yeah.
That's how I know.
I
don't do that superhero stuff.
Oh no. I want to watch this. I'm excited.
Hobie had a good question about this. He says, do you think there will be the Mario movie, the game? Is this how we finally get another Mario RPG?
Please don't.
I had a really hard flashback.
Go there, Hobie?
I had the hardest flashback to Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Oh no.
And now I need to go and I need to
just go away.
Day is over. I'm finished. Like no.
I hope not, Hobie.
Yeah, you don't want to tether a video game with a movie, especially Mario. Oh gosh, no.
Please no.
Never.
Please no. I tap out. I tap out. Don't do it. Don't do that to me.
Please.
We have a question from Donnie. Who's that?
I don't know.
Guy.
Donnie wants to know, how are we living in a world where Chris Pratt is playing Mario in a movie instead of Star-Lord in the actual damn Guardians of the Galaxy game?
That is a really good question. I don't know.
I have a practical answer to this question.
You get okay. Go ahead.
And I think it's because they want to avoid the uncanny valley effect of what happens when you use actors from movies into games. Like, it creates this very weird thing where you're never going to get the person to look the way people want it to look, and it's off-putting to a lot of people.
It's very off-putting. Yeah.
Also, I don't think this Guardians of the Galaxy game was something they wanted to spend a tremendous amount of money making, and this Mario movie has got big money bags energy happening, and I think that's part of it. But I do think it's an uncanny valley thing. Like, that's why they don't like to do that. That's why they didn't do it with Avengers either. Sometimes it's money, but often it's like, this makes people feel some kind of way. So,
I guess so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like a lot with superhero video games in general, like as you said, the Avengers, it's like people really want to associate the actor or actress with the video game face.
Sure.
And it would have been really cool to see their faces like kind of into the video game verse, but we gotta remember that these are fictional characters. These are actually superhero characters before the actor we associated with it, like in the comic books. Like, so yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the Chris Pratt is a big price tag. Also, I don't think a lot of actors and actresses really get the video game world vibe. Like, they just don't. I'm like, you know, maybe they're not into video games and they just don't get it, or they just don't want to be involved with mocap at all, or that level of mocap in the video game. So
I mean, you could also go so far as to say if they do it with one character in something like Guardians of the Galaxy, then you have to get them all, and that price tag starts to ratchet up tremendously for some of those people. Like, you can't just do Chris Pratt; you have to get the rest of the cast for it not to feel weird, right?
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Like Avengers is the same way. You can't just get one person, and that's a lot of deals to cut to get a game made. You know, and they just don't have. It's not just money. There's resources and scheduling and time crunch. It's not practical. So if they want to put him in something, this is a better place for him to go, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome. Get excited. When do you think we'll see the first trailer for the movie?
I would say by the end of the year, maybe.
Oh, you think so?
Like a teaser. I would think
March.
a teaser. March could be a good one too. Yeah.
What if they show
Video Game Awards?
I was just gonna say, what if they show something at the game? Yeah, that feels like something they would do. That's a huge audience.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Yep. They showed more Splatoon 3 gameplay and a little snippet of what we can expect from the plot, which I wasn't expecting to see this here at all. In this direct. I'm pleasantly surprised. They showed some of the multiplayer weapons, which looked awesome. That weird crab shooter
that was a
thing.
cool thing.
It was a mega
tank, mech type thing. And this slingshotty type grapple, which is going to be my main most likely because that looked awesome.
Yep.
And they showed that the plot is going to be called Return of the
Mammalians.
Which, if you follow Splatoon, there really are no mammals in the Splatoon world except for the two cats, Judd and Lil Judd. And it sounds like they're going to play a little bit of a part in this plot as well. They kind of hinted at. The city that it is taking place in is Splatsville. So they gave us a little snippet of that. It does look like it's that kind of dark, creepy, weird type of vibe
that we always
that
love.
the Octo expansion was, which feels promising to me. They showed that there will be more research updates as they normally do for the Splatoon game. That's kind of their thing. They come in with these research logs where they unveil things little by little over the course of months. This will get a nice long marketing push up until its release date next year.
2022. That's exciting. My kids are going to be like, I haven't shown them the direct yet because I wasn't home when it came on, and then they were out this afternoon. I cannot wait to watch this and watch them lose their minds. I'm not going to tell them. We're going to do it tomorrow morning.
Nice.
They're still playing Splatoon 2 daily in my home. They're going to be.
That's crazy.
I love
that game. Yeah.
You should come play with my kids, Bex. They'll
want
carry you.
They
carry me. Like they'll carry you both.
I'll play with them. Yeah.
They're so good. It's ridiculous.
Legit.
Yep.
Finally, they ended with the final announcement. We see it finally after so long. Bayonetta 3. There's a nice little astral chain cameo in it. We got a nice lengthy trailer that not only showed like cutscenes and whatnot, but we saw gameplay too. And man, Bayonetta, she looks good. She does look good.
The new hair is very good. I love her.
The hair.
My jaw dropped. I'm like,
she's the
amazing.
Best.
Does either of you know more about Bayonetta? Want to talk about the mechanics?
I didn't. I was paying attention, but I was too wrapped up in the fact that this game has been in development and announced 5 years ago. So I'm just like, I can't believe it's actually going to happen.
Has it been 5 years?
Yeah,
they
even
too
said
long.
2017 was when they first announced Bayonetta.
And hadn't heard a thing since.
Yeah, and it looks like they've got new crazy hair monster mechanics in there, and the guns are back, and the combos are back, and the witch time is back, and oh baby, let's go! The
biggest thing was the demons, controlling those and doing the big battles with those. We'll see how those turn out. Guys, I'm very excited for Bayonetta 3, but that Astral Chain cameo really
It's
got
great.
me.
Yeah, that's great.
Did that
Why
trip a
did
lot of
you
people
do
out?
Yeah, it tripped me up hard. I was like, wait, no, you can't be serious. It's Bayonetta 3. Okay, I
I'm
guess.
See, I
excited.
didn't recognize that character, so when they showed the platinum logo in the beginning, I'm like, Bayonetta, Bayonetta, and then
I
they're
knew
showing
it.
like all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know enough about Bayonetta to know if this is Bayonetta, so I was kind of questioning myself. And then I saw the little dog character. I'm like, is that character in Bayonetta? Like, I don't know. And then they showed her, and I'm like, okay, it's
Slappy
Bayonetta.
the dog, yeah.
It was the pink pea shot in the side before they showed the dog, where I was like, "This is Bayonetta 3. That's what this is
Yeah,
going to be."
yeah.
And then they actually pulled back and showed gameplay, which I was not expecting, nor was I expecting.
Me too.
Well,
release
yeah.
date.
Once they showed gameplay, I'm like, okay, maybe this has a release window that's not too far off, and it is coming in 2022, which I think is exciting for a lot of people, considering we hadn't heard about that game, like you said, in 5 years.
I've been so sad. I think it's rad that next year, if everything goes to plan, we're going to get both Splatoon 3 and Bayonetta 3 in 1 year.
Next 2022. Okay, so if everything goes according to plan, 2022 has Pokemon Legends Arceus, it has Splatoon 3, it has Bayonetta 3, it has Breath of the Wild 2, it has Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2, it has Kirby, it has what else am I forgetting?
Is that the big ones? It has a Mario movie. I mean, look, like
we could get no other big announcements for that year, and that will still be a stacked year.
It's a stacked year, and I'm
And
really
that'll be
excited.
it, yeah.
I'm excited for the payoff at the end of this hardware, because it feels like we're getting to the end of this hardware cycle. It feels like we're wringing like the stone dry of blood here, and they're running out of juice. And this is a great way to be like to almost send out. If they're gonna bring a new model in.
This would be a pretty good year to like have it be like the last full year of the Switch. Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I like it.
This is great.
Yeah, that was a really good way to end the direct. I wasn't so like hot on how they opened the direct. I kind of think it might have pulled me in a little bit more if they started with the Kirby game. I think that would have been a really cool thing to start.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah.
Or they should have opened with Bayonetta. Come on, we've been
that would
waiting
have been a
so
nice impression.
long. Like, give it to us, But I'm glad they showed it, and I'm glad.
If they opened with Bayonetta, what would you have liked them to close with?
Kirby, I think.
Could have closed with Kirby to bookend.
You think so?
Releases,
yeah.
They could have done that. Oh, it felt good.
Okay.
Yep.
I like it. How do you feel about the direct overall?
It's good. I know we went through and got very excited for a bunch of stuff. There's some stuff I wish they would have announced, but of course everyone's going to have something like that, right? Yeah. Personally, for me, this is not my favorite direct. There's some things I'm very excited for, and probably other things that I was just like, okay, cool. I'm glad other people will enjoy it.
I feel the same way. I wouldn't say this is an excellent direct, but it's not a bad direct either. I think it was a good direct. I feel a little bit like some of the exciting things are like, wait for the direct next month.
Yeah.
We had a couple of those, but that's okay. There was good stuff here.
There's good stuff here. And I think that I wish the Kirby thing hadn't leaked, because that's a
big
Me too.
That feels like a really big deal. I think I was really excited for that Castlevania Advance Collection. Is probably the highlight.
That leaked.
That leaked too, and I was bummed that leaked. Like, but
technically the N64 stuff leaked too.
The controller leak. Bayonetta 3 and Splatoon 3, and showing me so much of those games was really exciting. I think for what they've got coming, and for not coming in hot with a new Zelda game or a full-on Mario game, they did well here. They stacked.
They did very well.
Nicely. Yeah. It's too bad when things leak like this, and I don't love when you announce announcements. I don't love telling me. I understand having to, but I hate that. It makes me crazy. I go 7 out of 10 if I had to rate it, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Maybe
C
a
or
7.5. Yeah.
I would do maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, not bad at all.
It's great.
There are 2 games. I was like, I wish you would have shown it here, but now I'm so excited that you're going to show it in the future, and that's going to be Xenoblade. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I'm really surprised that wasn't here. I would have put money.
Yeah. That and Fire Emblem, a new Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
But
you're right. Those are going to come at some point.
They've been leaked pretty hard, and so I could see it in the next direct.
I see how they might want to get out of their own way though and get some of these other games in
Oh,
the
yeah.
first, and then wait until they get into next calendar year. Now they've got that year's schedule fixed and start feeding us that stuff too. I could see Q1 like end of March for them to start talking about that stuff. So.
We have a couple other little quick news that came in the past day. Today, I think both of them. The Life is Strange Remastered Collection finally gets a release date. They had delayed it to early next year. It's coming out on February 1st on all platforms, including Switch. This includes both remastered versions of the original Life is Strange and Before the Storm, as well as the DLC and all the extras that were included there. So that's nice to finally get a release date for that. Also announced today, a little something that I was excited about. Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King was a game, a little indie game that's a cute little Zelda-like top-down, really enjoyable game. It's getting a sequel next year called Blossom Tales 2: The Minotaur Prince. It's by Castle Pixel. Honestly, like I feel like all these indies say like, oh, like it's just like Zelda, and a lot of them really aren't. This is such a love letter to Link's Awakening, but it still stands as a really good game in its own right. It has some unique items that aren't in any Zelda game, but it still has that same kind of feel, going through the dungeons, getting the hearts, things like that. It's not super long. It doesn't overstay its welcome kind of thing. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy, except like one dungeon is a little bit hard. I really enjoyed my time with Blossom Tales, so I'm really excited about the sequel, and I will definitely get it right away.
Yeah, I'd like to play this too. That first one was very good. Very good.
It was.
I was impressed by the first one.
And it's always on sale.
It's
like
always
$3.
Always. And worse,
something like that.
if you can get it cheap, like I think it's 100%. It's not, it doesn't feel like a knockoff. It feels like an homage or a love letter. And I think that's important.
Yeah. Yep. That's it for the news. We do have a couple other last questions here to wrap up the show for today. Are you guys good with doing? There's just a small handful of them.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're like an hour and a half. Okay. Kevin wants to know what Game Boy Color game and N64 game from a third-party company, licensed or not, would you want for Nintendo Switch Online? He says pick one for each platform. So we know now that N64 games are coming.
Yep.
Just for kicks, we could do the Game Boy Color ones too.
N64, I would want GoldenEye. I have very fond memories of GoldenEye.
Yeah.
There's just something about that game. It's special. I would want that one. Game Boy Color is hard for me because my real like joyous games were mostly first party games, personally.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw in. I mean, it's Tetris, right? Like,
we could say, but isn't that? Yeah.
Is that licensed by Nintendo?
Probably.
It is, but like it's owned by it's a whole thing with Tetris. And yes,
Tetris is a mess.
It is. There's a whole book about it. There's a whole book about it.
There is a whole book about it.
Yeah.
I would say Tetris for the Game Boy, or Rayman. That was good on the Game Boy as well.
Oh, I didn't know that was on Game Boy.
Or Shantae. Shantae is a very good one. Actually, I would prefer that.
Too.
Yep.
I
N64.
I think I know enough Game Boy colors. For N64, GoldenEye would be a good one. That's one that they didn't say would be coming yet that I hope does. I'm trying to think what else there is.
Pokemon Puzzle League for N64 is also a really good call, but I think that's a considered a first party, but that game.
I don't think that's a licensed game, is it?
No. So good.
I wish a WW game would come in, but it would never.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Right, you got us stumped on this one.
Yeah,
because there really isn't much third-party games I really cling to with these platforms.
Agreed.
Beetle Adventure Racing, so everybody can play it and stop making fun of me.
We're gonna still make fun of you even if it got released.
I'm going to tease you, but I will. If it gets released, I will play it. How about that?
It won't.
No, it won't.
Thrax says, love the show. Thank you. He says 2 questions. What has you most excited coming out of the Direct? Also, Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance? Personally, I say Game Boy Advance, he says.
That's a tough question.
That is pretty tough.
Okay, let's start with the first one. Pick one thing that's your favorite coming out of the Direct.
Castlevania Advance Collection for me. I'm really excited about it. I'm like really genuinely excited. Yeah.
I'm excited for you. And I'm excited to try it out too. Triangle Strategy is my most excited thing out of the Direct. Yeah.
My favorite game that they showed in the Direct is Splatoon 3, but since that wasn't really a new announcement, I'm going to go with like the new thing that we learned about that I'm excited about is the new Kirby game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Also Super Nintendo.
I also agree.
Super Nintendo.
Super
Yeah.
Nintendo. I have
I'm glad we
such
got that
very
out.
aggressive nostalgia for the Super Nintendo, and I
This
still
is a
replay.
very pro Super Nintendo podcast, and if you don't believe that's the superior console, then you should look for another podcast.
She's starting a fight. Oh,
Get
see, I
out.
won't start a fight. The GBA is a bomb-ass little console.
Oh, I know
Let's
it
be
is.
clear.
I know it is.
Yep.
And we need
Yep.
to play more of those games like Golden
We
Sun.
do. Yeah, we're
Golden Sun.
we have some ideas for the podcast in the work that y'all want to stick around for. So
Yeah, stay tuned.
stay tuned. Let's see. Kyle says, what would be the perfect ideal Nintendo Direct that makes you say this is a 10 out of 10 Direct? 10 out of 10 meaning game releases, reveals, delivery with announcements, etc.
This is such a hard question because it's
Yeah.
such a mood thing for me. Like, where am I coming at this from? You know, from a games perspective, it's tough. The ones where they give me a bunch of games that I'm super interested in and they give me that out now or out next month vibe. Like, I like when Nintendo or any, console owner gives me a list of stuff that's out soon at hard dates within the next 3 months. That's a 10 out of 10 Direct for me. If there's at least 2 to 3 games on that list that I'm interested in, because then I'm just like, oh, I can get my hands on this now. I'm an instant gratification kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
So those are like hard hitters for me.
I think I agree. I think I would like a mixture of things in a Direct. I would like to see indies that surprise me, and I also like to see games that I would just love to see on the console itself. If a Direct can give me, here are at least 1 or 2 games you will for sure buy day one for the next 3 or 4 months until at least the next Direct, then that's a 10 out of 10 Direct for me. Yeah.
You guys are saying things that I feel like aren't 10 out of 10. I mean, the description that you just gave kind of matches what this past Direct was, and you didn't give that a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
I'm
gave
not
You can
getting
pick
it.
one.
Yeah.
You can
Day
pick
one,
one
no.
or 2 things out of here that you would buy that's coming out in the next couple months.
But
Well-
they also gave us a ton of dates way out too. And
They did.
Nebulous release dates are always challenging for me. They always pull my excitement back because I'm always just like, you're gonna miss that. You are gonna miss that date. You're gonna. I don't know. It's tough. Like I said, I want stuff like in the next quarter. Like if they had actually stuck to this winter for all of these announcements, I would be way more excited about this Direct. I would have.
There was no
8 or 9. Like it's now. It's soon. It's happening. You know.
There was no major game in here. I was like, I'm gonna buy you day one in the next 2 or 3 months. There wasn't in this Direct. So
That are you saying
Yeah.
that we just learned about for the first time today?
yeah,
Or this
Yeah.
week? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that is coming soon is stuff that we already knew about. Like they had the Metroid Dread trailer. We were already sold on that. Like, yeah, those kind of things. Okay, that's fair. A 10 out of 10 Direct for me has a new mainline Zelda game coming out.
Okay.
With a release date and information. I don't know. Like, are we saying 10 out of 10 for me personally or 10 out of 10 just like for general?
No one's going to ever
people.
feel like no one's ever going to agree on that. You know what I mean? A 10 out of 10 for you could be a 3.
Because I can recognize what a good Direct is, even if it's not like everything for me.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like for just a general, like, yes, that was a really great, excellent Direct. Like it has like a good mixture of first and third party games across a variety of genres that, everybody can come away saying, I liked at least, 2 or 3 things out of this. Like you said, kind of upcoming, like at least solid release dates, not saying sometime in 2022 or whatnot, some vague stay tuned type of thing. Showing us gameplay. Like I hate when other companies only show like CGI trailers and don't show any kind of gameplay. Short trailers, I don't want to see the same game for more than 2 minutes. I would rather them show a larger variety of things than like focus on 5 or 6 games for 10 minutes. Going on and on about that.
I think they do a better job with their indie Directs than their main ones sometimes.
The indie directs
because
are pretty
they're
good.
so brisk and so like this is out now, this is out next month, this is you just like you feel like you accumulate this list of games, and I think they poppier and snappier always helps these. Like the more they move, the more you feel excited and you don't linger too long. I agree with that statement.
And then I like when they just do something a little bit wacky too. And I feel like Nintendo Directs haven't done that in many, many years. Which brings us to the next question, if you don't mind me moving on from this. Brandroid wanted to know which Nintendo Direct has been your favorite from all time. So I went back to the archives and I looked, and I have two that I want to talk about. My second place answer for this was Nintendo Direct from E3 2014. That one where they did the whole robot chicken style animation, all of those things. Yeah. Like, it's just so wacky. And like, it's memorable to me. Like, not only did they show good games, which I'm about to talk about with you, but it's just memorable because of the way that they showed it. It was like just wacky. Like, why are they it's just so Nintendo to do this. Nobody else is making robot chicken animation style like presentations. I just love that kind of stuff. Like the puppets, when they did the puppets and all those kind of things. That Direct, they had showed us they gave us our first look of Breath of the Wild, which at the time was still for the Wii U. We got our little Link with the bow and the Guardian animation. That was amazing. They showed us Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They that was great, we had already known about Hyrule Warriors, but they gave us an in-depth look of that. They had a trailer for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. They showed us Mario Maker in that Direct. They did the first reveal of Splatoon for the Wii U. It ended with a announcement trailer for Palutena and Smash Bros. With a tease for Dark Pit. So they showed us some Smash Bros. As well. So I feel like that had a ton of especially in a time where the Wii U was like, it's a little bit dry. That was such a good Direct where they had so many first party picks. Oh, they also had Yoshi's Woolly World in that one, too.
And I love that game so much. That one's that might be my favorite Direct. It's very up there for me. It was very memorable.
That was my second favorite Direct. My first favorite was E3 2017, which that was when it was the first Direct with the Nintendo Switch. They showed Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They showed that there is a Kirby game coming to the Switch. They said they made the announcement that Pokemon will be developing an RPG for the Switch, like that they were going to have a Pokemon game for the Switch, which at the time was really big news because we never had one for a home console before. On the console,
That's true. That's true.
We had the teaser for Metroid Prime 4 is in development, which was a huge deal.
It was, yes. They
revealed that Yoshi Crafted World game. They showed Breath of the Wild's DLC. They confirmed Rocket League for the Switch. And then they gave us the in-depth look of Super Mario Odyssey's trailer.
Yeah, that was
great. So to me, basically all of those things, minus like Xenoblade, was like stuff that I wanted to get.
Yeah, I feel that.
So that was a very positive future for the Switch, I think, just coming off of the Wii U and having to wait years and years for just one game that I was interested in on the Wii U made me feel really confident about my Switch purchase.
I like that. That's a good answer. The 2014 one gave me hope in the Wii U. It made me feel like I didn't make a mistake. And Splatoon felt like this revelatory thing to me. You're giving me a third-person shooter that a kid can wrap their head around, and it was really cool take on that genre that you didn't ever have before. So that one,
I will really never forget my reaction watching that and seeing Splatoon for the first time and just immediately falling in love with it. Somebody who doesn't play any shooters, just this bizarre Nickelodeon vibe type thing, it captured my heart.
I was really excited about that, and Breath of the Wild in that same Direct. So I think 2014 is probably my favorite because you so rarely get a new IP out of Nintendo. And for it to be so interesting and so unique and a take on a genre that people have done to death that made me want to play it, that was huge. And I was really just warm and fuzzy. That was a great Direct. My favorite.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I actually didn't go back into the archives and look at a favorite Direct. I just want to say in general, Directs are among my favorite video game presentations.
Same.
They're on another caliber to me, where I'm just like, you know what, like this compared to a State of Play or an Xbox, I don't know, like a small presentation. It's like these directs are just one of a kind, very direct, very thorough. I enjoy. I don't think I dislike a direct at all. I'm sure there's ones that were okay, but I've never disliked one.
Have you ever come out of a direct saying there was nothing here for me?
I don't think so. I think there was at least one game that I'm like, I'm interested in this game.
Same.
And I'll keep up with it. So
I think that's special because I feel like you're right. Not every company you can say the same about watching their presentations.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
I don't know. Maybe you can. I can't.
I can usually, but I also have this like very big breadth of like game likes, which is unique to me. Like I just like everything. I want to like everything. Like I look for joy in that, but I'm not the status quo. But Nintendo always has something. Something.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
Finally, our last question comes from Ian. He says, what do you think is going on with Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp?
They're going to shadow drop this game. Doesn't it feel like that? Doesn't it feel like they're going to just be like, it's out today?
It has a release date.
It has a release date, early December.
Is it? Okay, well then.
They just haven't had a peep about it. I think, tell me if you disagree, I think that they're just very focusing on what's immediately ahead right now. They're really doing that Metroid push right now. Then they're going to do that Pokemon push for November. Then as soon as that's wrapping up, I think it's going to be a short marketing push for this game because it is such like a risky remake, I think, for them. But I think we're just going to get this very short term, like right before it releases. I think we won't hear very much more about that until it's about to come out.
It's such a niche thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, people who want it really want it, but everybody else is like, why? So
I think the people who are gonna buy it are gonna buy it, and it's just like there's nothing wrong with it. It's a remake, and it's by actually it's a collaboration with another studio. Is it Indie Creates? I think, or is it? It was another company or whatever. But this game, I mean, it's Advance Wars 1 and 2. It should be excellent, and actually, way forward. That's it. The Shantae developers. Yeah,
thanks. In chat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just think it's going to be fine day one. I think it's going to be even better later on. I think it's more of a word of mouth type of game than anything else. And I think they're just testing the waters to see if, hey, is this franchise still living up a little bit? Does it have a little bit of an audience they can gravitate towards? I'm very excited for the game. But I know I'm a niche audience.
Sure.
So we'll see how it goes.
I think that's okay for this. Like, I think it's very normal that we haven't been seeing a lot about it. I think we will start to see a little bit more about it, once we get closer, but it's definitely not going to get that huge push. And I think they're okay with that too.
They're super okay with it.
I think this is for nostalgia. Like that genre has evolved quite a bit over the course of the time between when those two games were released and now. So I feel like the people who come into that game brand new and have never played Advance Wars before are going to be like, some of this stuff is done better in newer games. And then the people like me who played those on, originally are going to be like, yeah, I just want this because I remember how much I liked this. And I don't love strategy games. So that's a big deal for me. That's, did they say what they're charging for this package? Are they charging?
$50? It's $60.
Holy
it is.
Sweet lordy. That's a little
games.
I know, but they're real old, and I know they're remaking them, but that might be a stretch. We'll see. I don't
know.
It's a fresh coat of paint of 2D art.
It's fine. I think it's fine.
We'll see how it goes.
I would have loved
like the Link's Awakening.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
Cool. Nope, I think I'm good.
Yeah, me too. This was good.
Great. That's gonna do it then. This was a good discussion about the direct.
Oh, Rebecca, you missed something in the beginning of the episode. What did you forget?
What did I miss?
Live on air producers.
Did I forget to say them? Oh no!
Yeah. Write them down for us, Bex. Let's
call out those names.
To remember all the steps as new host. I'll get there. I won't forget this time. Then thank you for bringing that up. Then thank you to Edwin Callow, AJ Pentcoast, Chris M, Devin Tyus, Horse Girl 69.
Nice.
Joe Wilson, Josh Borboni, Kyle Hyman, Nick Creature, Nick Folliver, Paul Calicote, RJ Kern, Stephen Keller, and Zach Adams. Thank you for your continued
Thanks,
support,
y'all.
and thank you for reminding me, Garret.
Love y'all.
Thank you. We'll be back next week. Only 2 weeks. It's gonna start getting exciting here, guys. 2 weeks until Metroid Dread.
Lots of games.
It's gonna be like balls rolling after that. Things are gonna start coming out fast. We're gonna have a ton to talk about.
Good.
This is an exciting time to be a Nintendo fan, so get excited.
Very much.
Play video games, y'all.
Let's play video games.
Let's play video games.
All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.